You gotta get into the groove.
Better put my mic on. Welcome again to another DLU with me, Peter Moinganor. This is live. I come in live from New Zealand. I put a hashtag live if you're watching this live, and put a hashtag replay if you're going to watch this later on. Right, okay, so I'm all the way from New Zealand, so I don't know what it's. I'm guessing it's around about 10 o'clock at night in Eastern time. And it'll be about 7 o'clock, I think, in PST time or Pacific time, and a few other places around the world. I know Australia's about 2 hours behind us. So at the moment, it is 2 p.m. on Thursday afternoon here. So yes, we are in the future, and there's not much difference to what it was yesterday. So if you're wondering. Okay, just have a look in the chat to see who we've got. We have Nancy. Welcome, Nancy, all the way from Canada. We have Dr. Lisa, and she's from Baltimore, Maryland in the USA. And then, of course, we've got Tyra, who is actually in our, she's in our team, and she's always here to support as well. All right, no doubt we'll have a few more pop in on this live. Normally our regulars, so we'll carry on anyway. So today's session is really about. I actually went through this in the small group groove training, and it's about tabs, collapsible tabs, as well as tabs itself. All right, so that's what we're going to cover today. The collapsibles kind of behave like the FAQs in Groove. So I'm just keeping an eye on the chat here to see who else is coming in. All right. Thanks, Tyler. Okay, let me just cut this off actually. All right, if you are joining us live, or if you are actually watching this as a replay, some of you may have actually just got your very first Groove account, and so you're probably wondering where to start and things like that. Now, this is probably not that session today, but we do sessions like that, and we have actually done one recently where we've actually built a whole page from scratch, so yeah, that would be something that would probably do again, hopefully soon, and then that way, then anybody who's new can pop on in and see how it's done. Okay. And if you're actually not new, you've been with Groove for a while, but maybe you haven't actually played around with the apps and all that. Believe me, there's a lot of people that actually do that, and that's fine. And you're getting back into it again, and you want to know how to do it, then this is also the place to be, just to make sure that you don't miss out on an opportunity to actually jump on one of these training sessions that we do. Okay, let me get started. So if you are new, the first thing that you're going to be faced with is that you're going to get a login, and it's going to look like this, obviously, when you get to the groove.cm login page, and then of course you just use your login details to get it. Now you'll come into the dashboard here. There's a bit of a menu up here as well. If you hover over the Groove icon, you can see there's also a menu here. I like using that one because I can right click on it on the PC on any one of those apps, and then I can actually open it up in a new tab on my window. And that's the other great thing about it, is that you can open up multiple tabs within Groove and work on multiple websites if you want to. within Groove as well at the same time. So it's not going to boot you out because you're actually in another website doing some work on it. And sometimes I have done that. I've worked on multiple websites at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go there. I'm going to go to Groove Pages because that's what we're going to be using to demonstrate what I was mentioning before. So I come over to, I don't know if you can see this actually. Oh, yeah, you can. I come over to here and the one I want to click on is Groove Pages, which is right up at the top here. I'm going to open that up in another tab, and there we go here. You can see I've got a few websites here. Now, I know the people that actually in this, in the comments there, I know they know this, but if you don't know this, you can actually do clones of your website. So as you can see here, I have a clone for this website and a couple of others as well. Basically, I can do major upgrades on the clone website for a client, and then I can publish that to the internet and unpublish the previous one. That means no downtime for the client, and their site is always up. So I'm creating for play for these tips. You're welcome. We've got Tyler, thank you. For Peter for creating a play for these tips. No problem. No problem, Tyler. Okay. Let's jump over here. So we're not going to use any of those. I actually, I'm going to use the page that we last built a demo website on, which was this one here. And this was the finished product, if you're wondering how that all went. So we started from scratch, and if not all of you in here, well, some of you would actually remember how we started all this, and we've got the hero image here with the menu up there. So we did all that, and we also had the what do you call it, the the brand names up here. And there's a bit of an example of a tab. We'll cover that later on. So this was just a straightforward website, and you could use it for, I think in here, this one I actually used for a mechanic, but you know, it has multiple uses for different things, even for different trades as well. So, okay. So that's the one we're going to go into today. Share again. So we're going to go into managing that. All right. So you can see it's similar to the one that I just showed. Right. So the thing is what we're going to do is we're going to create a collapsible guest tab, if you like, if you want to call it that. This is different from the other tabs that I'm going to be showing you as well. But what it is really for is to actually, I guess, free up more white space on your website. If you've got lots of text, and maybe if you want to put lots of images on, the couple of elements that I'm going to be covering are ideal for that. Right? They're very ideal for it. So if that's something that you want to do, if you want to put quite a bit of information on one page, you don't want to do multiple pages, you just want a one-page website, which is, I do a lot of those, then these elements can actually be lifesavers, as well as a one that's called, as well as a pop-up one as well. So let's get started. I'm just going to click on this one here, but I'm going to add a block. Again, if you're new to this, adding a block is pretty much, these are all blocks. If you want to call them sections, you can call them sections, but they're all blocks. All right, and inside the block are containers. Now over here, there's two containers, one for this side and one for that side. So if you click on this side, if you click on even say the video here, now down here you'll see some breadcrumbs, and this will tell you as to what part of that container you're on. So you can see there's containers within containers in this one here. Okay, So if you actually click on here, it'll go one up. That means we're in the container that was holding the video. We click on here again, we're actually in the layout. So the layout is 2 columns, right? And so the container for the 2 columns, that's what it's in. So the layout is in the container with 2 columns. And then you've got the tab block, which is pretty much everything that's going to come, get away from me, is going to come on the menu here. And then you got tab contents, which is basically the contents of the tabs, and then container, which holds the pretty much the tab contents, I guess, and then the tabs container. So you can see there's quite a few things going on in here. If you were trying to build this from scratch yourself, which you can in Groove, then it would obviously take a long time. But these are pre-built for you. So, I mean, these tabs are actually already there. Of course, you can add on as many tabs as you want, but they're already there, right? Okay, so actually, let's just start with, we'll start off with the tabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new block. Yeah. Now you got to have a container before you can put anything in it. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the same as what I did before. Actually, I might even do something that's a little bit different. I might just do this one here. Now that means that we've got 2 columns, 2 containers side by side. One's they're not equal size. One's probably about a third of the whole thing, and the other one is obviously wider. So we're going to probably have a look at those, and maybe we'll get into how you could use something like that, right? So let's click onto that. As you can see, it's going to come up. Now we've got to decide where we want our tabs. So we're going to put it on this side because this is the larger side. What we do now, we then go over to, so we clicked on the container, we then come over to the left-hand side to elements and click on here. And as you scroll down, you should actually see tabs. Let's go down. All right. So now you've got like tabs container, tab content, tabs head. Now, this is, if you're going to build it from scratch, you can do it this way. And maybe it's a good thing that I do show you this way, because at least then you know what's involved in the whole tab element, because you can actually get the whole tab already pre-built within the Groove. But what we're going to do here, we'll start off with just creating it from scratch. So we're going to grab the tabs container, bring that over here. All right. Now we're going to bring over the tab content, bring that over there. Okay. And now we're going to bring over the tab head. All right. And then that will go up to the top. So now what we have is, we have 2 tabs and all in one, and this is in the block. So I'm going to give some space down the bottom here. So I'm going to click on the block. Now, if you're finding it hard to click on so that you can actually get the whole block, just come down here, click on anywhere on here, right? Anywhere on here, come down to the bottom, and then you will see there's the block there. So we'll just click on that, and now we've got everything encompassed in the block. I'm going to add some space in that at the bottom. So I'm just going to go over to this side here, go to spacing, and then I'm going to add some space. So I'm going to go on the inside of this whole border. So just pretend that this is the border of the block. We're going to go to the inside of it. We're going to create some space. So I'm going to put about, we'll put 80. There you go. Now we've got some space. All right. Now we've got 2 tabs. I probably want more. All right. But at this stage, what we'll do is we need to come over to, if we do want more, what we need to do is that we need to click up, click up once, click up twice. All right. So click up twice, then click on the cog wheel here, the settings or config. We got here, you'll get tab 1. Oops, hang on, one more. Let me just come back over here again. I think we need to be here. Yeah, that's where we need to be. Okay, so you click on the tab's content, click on here, then click up on the config, and then you add more tabs. There, and we'll do 5. You can see that these ones are already connected with the tab heading. Okay, that's what that means. When it's highlighted like that, they're already connected to the tab headings because those were the first 2 that we've seen, right? But at the moment, we can't do that. Not at this stage because we need to create the headings. So we're just going to go update. All right. And now we're going to go into the, let's do the, what is it? Yeah, we need to go into the tab container. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to, where are my tabs? Got one there. Hang on. Oh, let's create some blocks for the tab content. So we've got one more block here. Okay, cool. So we're going to do the first block. We'll come over to, let me do that again. We'll click on here, come over to empty blocks, and let's just put a block in there. All right, and that will, it's kind of like a container. It will actually hold our elements. If we come over to the next tab, we can actually put another block in there, add another block, or container, I should say. All right. Now you will see that didn't actually work straight away. So just do it again. Sometimes you'll encounter that. You'll need to do it again. All right, let me just go here. Just want to make sure. Select the tab. It won't be sick. So we had like 5 containers or 5 blocks, if you like, but 5 containers for 5 tabs. So obviously we've only got 2 tabs. So what we do is now we just click on the tab part here, and then we're going to add more tabs. So we're going to go 3, 4, and 5. All right. So that's it there. And we're just going to update that. Now we have the 5 tabs. Okay. Great. Now, so we've got 5 containers, we've got 5 tabs, and so it's just a matter of connecting them. So we're going to come over here, and we need to go up to the container. No, next one. I think it's this one. Tabs content. Yeah. So we need to go into the container that's, so if I start this again, there. Okay, we need to go to where it says tab contents there, and that selects all the containers. So we click on here, and you can see we've got tab 1, tab 2 connected. We just need to connect tab 3, tab 4, and tab 5. So let's do that now. We'll click on here. So tab 1 is taken up, tab 2 is taken up. We just connect tab 3. Next one, tab 4. And then next one, tab 5. And then update. So now we've got all our tabs connected to our containers. Now, if you've got any questions as I'm doing this, just pop them into the chat, and I will just continue to glance over to see if there's any questions. All right, so we've got the 5 tabs. They're connected to our 5 containers. And so now we want to fill up these containers. What are we going to do with these containers? Well, there's a few things you can do. And you can do this with the elements. So let's just say we want to put in a title and a paragraph. We want to stick that in there. So title with the paragraph, pop that in there. Okay, so we've got a bit of a script here. I'm just going to add some spacing. So on the text box, I'm going to add some spacing here. All right, I'm going to go on the inside of that line and then click in here. I'm just going to do it on the top and bottom, and I'm just going to add like 30. Actually, let's make that 20. All right, so that's one tab. That's tab number, oh, that's not even tab number 1. That's actually tab number, must be 2. So that's tab number 2. Let's go to tab number 1. Let's put something in there. Okay, tab number 1, let's just put a video in there. Okay, we come over to elements again, come over to video player, and let's just put that in there. Okay, so now we've got a video player in tab number 1. I want to add some space, of course, like we did to the last one. All right. So now we've got a video on tab 1. We've got some copy text on tab 2. What am I going to put on tab 3? Anybody? Anybody want to give any advice on this? All right, let's just have a look. Actually, we need to add a block. So that one, we need to add blocks to these tabs. So I'm sure we already did that, but anyway, let's add another block here, container. You see how it doesn't work the first time around? Let's do that again. Now it's working. These are the little niggly things that you'll pick up. If you use this all the time, you'll actually find out what all the niggly things are, and and how you have to overcome them. Because if you're just learning this from scratch, my guess is that you're gonna, when you're actually fronted with the little niggly stuff, you're probably going to get lost. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to fix it or anything like that. And this is what these GLUs are for, is to give you handy little tips and little bits of information that I picked up along the way when I'm actually creating sites. So I do a lot of group page websites with group pages. Most of my client websites are actually with group pages. So you kind of find out all these things as you go. So in this container here, let's just we'll come over to elements again. Let's have a look. Maybe we'll put a list. All right, let's just do a list here. I'm going to do an image list just because I haven't done one of those. Oh, this happens to say gets very touchy. There we go. I think it's my mouse. So we've got a list here, and it's got an image. Now let's put it. Oh, let me put some spacing in that. Again, I'm just going to put spacing up the top and bottom. Let's make that 30. Be consistent in your spacing, by the way. Then you know that you've always, you don't have to sort of think, well, what did I make that spacing, and what did I make this spacing? What size did I make it? So just be consistent. If it's a rule of thumb, and you always do. As you can see, I did 30. I normally do 30 on all my spacing on the top and bottom, especially when there's no spacing at all. I always do 30. That's in my own preference. It's whatever your preference yours is. Okay. Over here, you can actually put a image, and but don't make it a big image. But let's just come over to here. So I clicked on the image, and I'm going to click on the config wheel. I'm going to choose an image from my gallery. You can also upload images, by the way. Let's just choose this one here. All right. I've used this for one of my customers' sites. So let's just choose this one here. This would be too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to go up to the crop icon. And I'm just going to click on here. When that padlock is pink, that means anything that you do in here will actually change what's in here. If you take it off, and I'll show you in a sec what I mean. If you take it off, then you can actually change what's in here, and they will be both different. But I want it square. I'm just going to put like, well, let's just make this 25. All right. Now, if I wanted to, and I wanted to make it like 25 by 75, I just take that off and then I just add 75. Right? But I don't. I just want it square. I'm going to crop that, crop, and then update. There you go. Now we've got a tick. All right. Now, because it's a list element, you're obviously going to have more in that list. So, you know, rather than actually recreate all this stuff again, or all you're going to do is copy. I'm just going to go copy, 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 and copy. All right. Cool. So now we've got a video, some paragraph with a title, and now we've got a list. What can we do on this one here? Let's just click on that one. Again, we're going to add a empty block. Literally, it's a container. Or let's do that again. So you can see if it works when it's working is because it'll go grayish with the groove icon coming up. All right, so we've got an empty container there. Let's just have a look what we're going to put in there. Let's put an image. Oh, actually, no, we'll put an image. We'll probably put a round image. I don't know. We'll put mine. Yeah, we'll do a round image. Okay, so we've got an image there. You can see that it's aligned to the left. So if we click on the container, it holds that image. So you can either do it this way. You can go down the bottom here, where you see there's the image, there's the container that it's in. You can click on that, and then we'll select that, or you can click on the image and then come over here and click one up. So it moves up to the next part. All right, we want to go to layout after that because I want to center that image. So you go to layout there, and yeah, just wondering if you guys can see it behind that Groove Asia live thing. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to center it like that. Okay. Okie dokie. Again, I think I've got enough space. I think I've got enough space in there. Yep. Oh, that was tab number 4, I'm guessing. Yep. Tab number 5. Let's do another container. Again, we're going to have to do this twice by the looks of it. And then, oh, by the way, you know, there's you can actually put like I guess 2. Let me just backtrack on this, and I'll tell you what I mean. So that I've actually just gone back one, so that we undo the last thing we did. I'm going to go add block there and there, so you can actually choose a double contain a double if you want to, like 2 columns in a container. You can do that, whatever you want to do, right? You can actually do that if you want to, but yeah, 9 times out of 10 you probably won't have to. So let's just do this again. Come up to the 1 container, and let's just grab one last element, and I'm going to go scroll all the way down to Groove Mail Form. It's there, and it's over here as well. Okay. It's going to go there. All right, cool. We've got a few elements, different elements in there. So we've got a video, we've got a some copy, we've got a list, we've got a picture, and we have got a form, all in that one tab. Okay, cool. Right. So what I'm going to do, I kind of like doing this. I like kind of making it look a little bit nicer, and you can too. I'm just going to click the tab heads there, and I'm just going to start putting some text in there. So I clicked on there, click on the config here, and I am going to name that tab, let's just say video. All right, and then you can name the others if you want to. We're going to go story. The next one I think was a, what was the next one? I can't remember. I know the last one was actually a form. And the one before that, I think this one was a list. And the one before, the one after that was picture. Yeah, image. All right, so now we've got a name for each of our tabs. You can see there, all right? So we've got names for each, or titles for each of our tabs. You may want to make them all the same size. So you can literally do that if you want to. I'm going to select that one there, video, and here I'm going to go spacing, and I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add a little bit of space. I'm going to do maybe, we'll just do 16. Actually, we'll do it bigger than that. Let's do 24. Oh, that's even too small. Might go to 34. Okay, well, that'll be fine. Probably won't be able to get away with it on that one. Let's just try. I mean, it will look, you will get some that would look a little bit different. I do play around sometimes to try and make them all look the same width. And we'll do that one. We'll do that one again with 34. This one here. We'll try that one again. Spacing, let's do 34 again. Might have to be more than that. Yeah, let's just make that 40. Close enough. And we'll make this 34. And we'll do the same for this one here. All right. Now, sometimes I do make these different colors. Sometimes I actually don't make them no color at all. I just make them transparent, and all they see is the text. All right. So there's lots of different ways you can do that. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do colors. Now, I'm just going to go red. All right, with white text. And I might just make that bold as well. We'll make it semi-bold. Cool. All right. Now, you want to get real fancy. When you hover over it, you want it to be a different color. All right. So we're going to come up to hover. Not in the text part, in the background part. We're going to come over to hover there. All right. You can see now we can actually choose a color. So I might just choose maybe let's go pink, something. Try that. All right. So now when you hover over it, it's going to go that color. Okay. And the other one is active, which means that it will tell you which one you're actually on. So it'll be a different color again. So if I wanted it active, wanted to do that, go in there and I want to do the active part of it. Okay, go background, go active, and then I might just make it this color here. Right. So now when I hover over it, it's pink. If I click on it, and you probably won't see it in this view, but you'll see it on the live view, it will go that active color. I won't do that to the rest. I'll just leave the rest. You get what I mean. Okay, so story. You can obviously put your text in here with a title. You can, that's a separate little section there. So you can actually make that bigger if you want to. Come over here, text. Let's do that at 22. All right. Story. Oops. All right. Now the other thing is that sometimes you might come across when you're actually doing your text in here. Sometimes you might come across something like where it does. Sometimes it actually does a big space. What you normally do is, if you want to minimize that space between each paragraph, click where you need to go, right there, and then hold Shift down, Shift, and then Enter. Okay. So you see how there's no space here. So if I actually did this again, and I did it without the shift key, it's because I've done it before, it's done it now. But yeah, you hold the shift down. So you click there, shift, enter, and you'll actually minimize the space in between there. Okay. I don't see any questions. Hopefully everybody's still watching me. Can you just give me a yes or a one or something in the comment box to let me know if you're still with me? Because I don't see any questions. I could be talking to myself for all I know. Thanks, Dr. Lisa. I was getting a bit worried there. Anyway, so that's story. Let's go on to list. And of course, you just put whatever you want in there, whatever your list is. First item, and then second item. I've got one of these keyboards that actually puts in punctuation as I type, and you can do the same again for whatever the name is. You get the story, right? So what else we got here? We are all still here enjoying the presentation. Thanks, Tyler. Okay, image. Now, if you remember, I grabbed the round image, and this is kind of what I like it sometimes. Hi, Micah. I think that's how you say it. Hopefully. Okay, so I'm just going to come onto the image here, come into the config, and then I'm going to grab an image. Let's just grab this one. I'm going to make that smaller because it's just a bit too big pixel size. All right, we'll wait for this to come up. Okay, let's just make that around about maybe 200. Right, now you see here, they've got 200. If I wanted to make this square, right, there's a couple of things I can do. I can either play around with it and then bring this bit down here because it's got extra space there. And see what happens over here? That changes. So if I want to make it square, I need to actually get it to that size there, the same size as the width. So I'm going to carry on down. So that's got to be the same size as the width. I can carry on down and I can do that. Or I can get close. Oh, I was close. There, and I'm one out, right? So all you do is click on there and make that a 2. And then click back on that again. And then crop. And then crop again. Oh, that was too big. Okay, that picture was too big for that. We won't update that one. Let's just do this again. Because that was like about 4,000 pixels. Let's come over here. There. Let's bring this down to close to 4482. 44. If you try and do it, and you might say, well, why don't you just actually just do it the same size, switch this off and do it the same size as that. I'll show you what it does after this, but okay, we're going to take this off and then we're just going to put a 2 there. And again, now we've got our perfect square. Now, if I was to, let's just go back again. If I was to take that off and then go, okay, well, I'm just going to make this 4. It's going to look squished. Okay, so you're going to get this. It's kind of squished up. It's not the true image. It probably doesn't look so bad, but it is a bit squished. But let's just run with that for now. And then I'm going to make this 25 again. I'm not even going to worry about the 27. It's not even going to make any difference, but I'm just going to go crop, select. Actually, I'm doing the wrong image. Do this again. I'm still thinking it's a for an icon, but it's not. Okay, let's do this again. Oh. Okay. Sometimes I don't even worry about making it perfect, to be quite honest. But you know, if you want to be fussy about it, go for it. But there's not much difference between 8.9 and 8.2. I'm just going to crop and then update. And that should come up. There you go. Right. Now, you may want to put that to the left rather than smack bang in the middle because it doesn't look right. But I'm going to go into container for the image, click on layout, come down here, and I'm just going to click here. All right. And that'll push it to the side there. You might have two columns in here where you have the image in one and then you have some text in the other. Actually, let's just do that and I'll show you how you can do it. All you do is, okay, click on the container, right? What we're going to do is we're going to come over to element. We're going to come over to two columns. We're just going to drag and drop. See down the bottom there? Oh. Got to get this up. You will find sometimes this gets a bit tricky. With you trying to maneuver your mouse and trying to get to the right spot is actually can get quite tricky. There we go, boom. All right, so I've got two columns there. All right, so rather than put another picture in there and all that sort of drama, I'm just going to click on that. And when you've got those crosshairs, that means you can actually just drag it. So I'm just going to drag it into there. All right, and I'm going to delete that container. All right. And probably want to move this back into there. There. So now I've selected the whole layout of the 2x2 column, and I'm going to drag that back to here, right, where the other one was. That way, then it's within the tab container. Let's add some spacing in there. Again, 30. 30. You can see that's not aligned. Actually, you can still come over to here. All right. When you come over to here, let's have a look at the layout. Kind of come up there. There. So go into the container that holds the image. All right. And then if you want to center that, just come over here and you can come over there and it'll center it like that. Then you can add some text into that. I'm just going to put a title and paragraph again into there. Boom. And there you go. All right. So that's an image with some text. And then the form. Now, with the form, it is something that you will. What's happening here? All right. So now, can you see when I actually do this, nothing is changing? Oh, sorry. Hang on. Looks like we've gone outside of the area here. We were in the right place before. Let's just drag that down to there. Sure, why it's on there. We'll delete this. Story. Story. My story. This image. I'm just going to drag that back into there. We'll leave it like that. You get the picture anyway. I probably should have started off with that before, with a 2-column block, if you like. So I'm just going to get rid of this layout here. And I don't think I need to get. It's going to get rid of that. We'll just leave it as an image in there. And get rid of that, whatever that is. Yeah, I might have mucked that one up. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So I would pay that if you're going to put up, you know how we drag and drop sorry, when you actually add a block or container, it would probably pay to put a double container in at that particular time. So I'm just going to go back to where I was initially. This is the great thing about the back. Let's do one more. And I should be back to normal. Yep. Cool. So I'm back to normal. Oh, that's a good option, the back option. And now we'll do the form. Now I've already got some forms that are actually in there. So I'm just going to click on here. And then this will come up. Come down to select. And I will just grab a demo form. That would be another training, by the way, how to create the form. And then we won't worry about this, but here we'll just update it. Okay, so there's my form. You can resize it, whatever. It doesn't have to be that big. Come over to size. Oh, we may have to go one up. Let's just go one up. If you see these like green dots lit up, right? That means you can, you know, it's been set to something, right? That means that it's active. It's the size has been set, so you can come into there, and you see that it's made it relative to parent. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to now that all that does is actually make it smaller that way. Maybe we want it in the center. We don't want it you know, going to one side. So again, what we probably need to do is that we need to, we'll try this, we'll try center here, like that, and then go back to size, click on click on the form. Groove form. Yeah, we don't actually have it there. Let's go back up. Yeah, it still doesn't, but it's center in the box there, but it's still a wee bit too small. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get it so that we can actually make it a little bit wider, but we'll leave it as it is for now. But yeah, it is a pain around, and I will, you can do it, but I won't cover that just yet because I think I need to move on to the next bit. But that kind of gives you an idea how to start up tabs, what you can put in there. And of course, if you've actually, you know, you don't want the homepage to look all cluttered up with text and all that sort of thing, that's one way that you can hide everything. And then people, if they choose to, they can just click on it and have a look. And I'll show you the finished product anyway. Up here is exactly what this does, right? So if you come onto here and click on there, then you see how I've got all that other stuff as well, right? So that's how that works. Okay, the other one that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to quickly go through it, get rid of this, is the collapse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put empty block, and over here I'm going to put element, and I'm going to drag title and text into there. Let me just add some space in here. All right. And I'm going to copy that again. So I'm going to copy this whole text paragraph here. I'm just going to go duplicate or copy, and that'll add more down here, but in its own container. Okay. So let's leave it like that. I want to select this and make it smaller. See that green dot? Yeah. That means it's active. Yeah. I just want to make it smaller. All right. Let's put a title on there. Demo. Let's make that bigger. All right. Now let's just say, oh, that's a lot of text. We don't want that much text showing. You know, how can we minimize that a wee bit so that we don't actually have all this text? You know, it could be more than that. All this text in there. So what you can do, okay, is that you can come over to Elements, come over to Collapse, drag and drop it. Actually, we might want it. Yeah, we'll drop it there. All right. And then we can, what we'll do is we'll select this container here. Oh, we can just copy all that, paste that into here. So, and then we'll just delete this one. Okay, so now you've got a collapsible element, right? That's what we're after. Next, I'm going to actually get rid of the spacing. So I'm going to click on the container that holds the text. And you can see there's a green dot, which means that it's active. So I'm going to, yeah, and I'm going to get rid of that spacing on both sides, like so. Okay. And probably I'll get rid of this where there's some spacing in the heading as well. I'm going to get rid of the spacing on that side as well. So we do the same as what we did before. All right, with the heading, what we're going to do is we're going to click on here and we're going to call that read more. And then we'll, on here with the collapse heading, we want it closed when it's live. And then update. Now, a couple of more things that we're going to do before we finish this is we're going to go background. We're going to make the background no color. Let's just go up one to make, let's click on it and to get this part here. Just let's make sure that's got no color as well. Okay. All right, so yeah, now let's just make this live. I'm going to actually, before I do that, I'm going to take some spacing off from the top. Yeah. And then just go live. So I'm just going to publish it. This is not the actual site, by the way. It's like it's not live for anybody. So just in case you wanted to know. It's just for this purpose is what I'm doing here. All right. Okay, so that's done. So when we go to the live view, and you can go to here, come over to current page or whatever you want to come onto current page properly, and then click on here. All right, we get to the live view. And there we go. I'll just share my tab. Cool. And we scroll down. There is the demo. You click on there, and then you reveal more information. All right. So that's one way you can actually just free up a little bit more white space, because white space is important on the front page. It kind of gives you, and simplicity of a website. Nothing too crowded up with like text and all that. You can have a website that's too text heavy, and you don't want to do that. But yeah, but if you do need to actually, if you have got a long paragraph there, and if they wish to read more, then they can do that. The other way, which I'm not going to show you today, but just to give you an example, how another way you can hide more information without actually making your front page look all cluttered up. And I'll just, that particular site that I showed you before, which was this one. This is great. I can actually open up another tab and still be in the, still have the others open. So I'm just going to come here on the live view. We'll go on the live view. Currently, I'm actually doing I'm helping a candidate for electorate for campaign. I'm doing a social media and a website, and well, I've done a website, And so this is one thing that because she's got a lot of information. She's got a lot of information about, like the policies, the things that she wants to do. So over here, this is actually a good example of how you can actually make things a little bit tidier, cleaner, more simple. She wanted to put more information in here, but it wouldn't have looked good. So what I did was I actually made a pop-up and I connected it to the card, if you like, and then click more, and now you've got a pop-up. Oops, let me do that again because no one saw this. Okay, come down. This is the site, by the way. Okay, come down here. There are the cards, if you like. She wanted more information put in here, but if you could imagine, the more information you put in here, the more it doesn't look right. Okay, so especially with something like that, and you've got four columns or four cards there. You don't want it all stacked up with text. So I made a pop-up. Okay, had the same photo, had the rest of the text, but when you click on more, okay, and that's what you get, right? So that's another great way of actually saving white space so that you don't clog everything up. Now here's a good example of too much text, but I had to leave that in there because, and that was kind of like, if you have a look, that's the only, well, apart from that, but this is a candidate website, so you can expect a little bit more text on the front, but basically I could have actually put the more thing in there if I wanted to, but it just fell in line with the photos. I wanted the photos to be the same as all the paragraphs here, so same size, same height sort of thing. So I just left it like that, and I think it looks okay. So it is one of those things that you as you go along, you might change things to make it look balance out, if you like. All right, and I think that's it. Let me just stop share. All right, guys. I don't know if you got any questions about that. I spent a bit of time on the tabs thing, but come back to this video, the replay, if you want to get more of a idea. That was a bit too fast for you, but I was able to cram that into the 1 hour anyway, so which is really cool. But like I said before, I did see a new guy in there that I've never seen before, Micah, Micah, I'm guessing. It was good to have you here, and of course we have a few others that here too. Yeah, Micah Thompson. So one of the things is that we're going to be doing in the small group coaching is things like this. Like I did actually demo something similar to this just gone Monday night, Eastern time, just gone. And so you'll get all those little things there too as well, but it's actually in a Zoom and there is no recording. So basically it is somewhere you can actually ask me questions and then I can demo it and all that sort of stuff, share my screen and things like that. The other thing is too, and it hasn't been as much lately, I also joined Tyra, who's in the group here. Actually, I might bring up the calendar. Let me just bring up the calendar. Let's see. All right, so this is our Groove Asia calendar. This is pretty much what's going on throughout the week. So if you are new and you don't know what we're up to, this gives you a bit of a schedule that you can come to and have a look. And then, then you can see, if you want to know what it's about, you just click on it. So today is my session, which is this one here. Oh, hang on, where are we? Okay. Normally it's this one. On the 10th here. For me, it's on the. No, I'm in the wrong month, am I? Was it 11th? Oh, there we go. No, It's not it either. I'm not in there. I'm not in there. Okay, so I'm not in there. Normally I would be in there, but I think what Karen thought that I may not be doing it this week, so she decided to not add it in, but that's okay. Here I am the week before. Click on that. You can see there's the actual the YouTube link, the stream. But what I was going to say is that I do actually attend Tyra, who's supports me in these GLUs, and she has her own session where it's called the Power Hour Plus, and it's where you can go and work on any projects that you're working on, and if you want to talk to some of the people in the community, then you can do it there. You have a little bit of a time where you can, and then what Tyra does, she puts the clock on, and then you guys can actually just do what you need to do. I think she sticks it on for about 30 minutes, have a break, and then back on again, that sort of thing. So it's actually kind of forces you to work on your projects, because a lot of us, we've been guilty of not working on our projects or giving it enough time because we get busy, right? And from time to time, I jump in there on the sessions as well. And if anybody needs a bit of help, we can go into a breakout room and I can just help them there with what's going on with them. And Dr. Lisa and there and I have had a few sessions before, which is good. We haven't had one for a while, actually, Dr. Lisa, so we're about due. So yeah, as Tyra said there, we also have breakout rooms. Okay, so that's the Power Hour, and that's every Tuesday evening and Thursday evening. So there's 2 slots there. We also have iSummit Market. Now this is iSummit Markets. If you're into cryptocurrency and all that sort of stuff, if you know Qingyu, and most of you in here do, but there may be a couple, watching us live or watching us now. So watching us live or watching us in the replay. Qingyu is actually an expert. He's an expert at cryptocurrency. Now I know it's a strong word to use for as far as expert goes, because I think everybody has had their own experience with crypto, and not always can you get it right. But he has done it for years and years and years, and he kind of knows the trajectory or predict the trajectory of where it's going, up or down. And he keeps an eye on all the politics stuff that's happening around the world. Of course, anything that happens in the States actually affects the currency as well as the cryptocurrency, things like that. So jump on one of those things. It's really, really good. You can go. There's the link there. You don't have to sign up for anything. Just go to the link, and then you can be part of that session. I've been on a couple of them. For me, they're actually kind of like at midnight, and so yeah, it's a little bit too much sometimes. So those are the iSummit Markets. Then we have the iSummit Insiders Club. Now, that one is a club. It is a one, and they have some really good training in there and some really good information, and they keep abreast of what's going, with a lot of the stuff that is happening now with the AI. AI engineering and all that sort of thing. So you name it, they're up to date with it. That's kind of what they do. They make sure that they are very knowledgeable of some of the latest stuff that's going on with AI. And because if you don't know by now, SEO is kind of out. AI SEO or AEO is the one that's actually taken over now. And so it's great for a lot of people, because SEO can get quite expensive to pay somebody to do that for you. All right. I didn't realize there's so much on, actually. There's more stuff. So coming up next week, we've got the Fast Track Sales and Marketing. If you want to be part of that, I'm not too sure what that's about. Oh, yes, automation with Scalando. Jump on those. They're going to be really, really good. So jump on if you can. Just have a look. Pop your nose in, have a look, and you don't. You're not going to lose out on anything. And then they've got unlock the AI. I'm gathering this one will be with Ching Yu again because he's the AI expert. So this must be over a couple of days, I think. Yeah, must be. All right. I won't go into the next part. Oh, yes, I will go into the small group coaching because I talked about that before. If you want to join us in the small group coaching, and it's basically anything to do with Groove, there might be something that a project that you're working on, a website or the Groove card site, or, doing whatever in Groove, and you want some guidance or you need some questions to be asked, answered, then that's probably a good place to be. I will be there. My co-host, Karen, well, actually, I think I'm her co-host. She's not mine. Karen will be there as well. And we will answer any questions you may have, but it's not a support, like we don't answer any support questions. We don't actually have anything to do with Groove support, right? So the back end stuff. But we can help you and the stuff that I've been going through today and anything that's Groove in terms of building websites or building blog sites or whatever. Okay. And I think that's it. That's me, guys. So look, thank you for, I'm just going to remove this. Thank you for joining me. And a little bit rusty these days because I've been actually really busy myself with my own business here, my local business. So it's a little bit out of touch with I guess with the running these sessions, because I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the comments, and I'm trying to look at the screen and all that sort of stuff. So it gets a little bit. I've actually I've gone a little bit thing on it. I haven't out of practice, I should say. All right, no problem. Thank you, Tyra. Thank you, Nancy, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye now.
You gotta get into the groove.